All right, so now let's talk about Aubrey O'Day, who was also in the Diddy doc, and she basically opened up about um Sean Combs' The Reckoning, where apparently somebody had to tell her that she was R-worded by Diddy, but she says she has no recollection of that happening. So Aubrey O'Day claims she has no memory of allegedly being R-worded by her former boss, Sean the Diddler Combs. In 50 Cent's new Netflix docuseries, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, the former Danity Kane singer read an affidavit from a woman who claims she witnessed the Act Bad rapper allegedly engaging in the sexual crime as O'Day was sprawled out on a leather couch looking very inebriated, saying she was naked from the bottom half and she had something over her top. Puff Daddy was penetrating in her vagina, and there was another stalky, light-skinned man with his penis in her mouth. This is according to the affidavit. However, O'Day, who was discovered in 2004 on the third season of Combs' MTV reality show Making the Band, says she didn't drink like that at all during that time. She says, I don't drink at all. It's never been an issue with me. The showstopper singer, who's 41, says she has no memory of what that woman claimed occurred and would rather leave it that way, saying, quote, even if I told her I didn't have a recollection of this, I said, could she be making a mistake? I asked in every way I possibly could think of, and she was certain, the pop star alleged in the doc. Does this mean I was R-worded? Is that what this means? I don't even know if I was R-worded, and I don't want to know. I don't want to find out anymore what that woman has to say. Now, if the woman is lying about the alleged R word, the damaged songstress said she would retaliate. However, O'Day shares that she wouldn't want to give Combs' legal team any power to discredit other victims. Saying, quote, if she made it up, I would be compelled to take her the F down, she explained. And you realize the burden that puts on my soul for the past year, which is if I expose one victim who's got a civil lawsuit, that gives Diddy and his legal team credit to take down everybody else as potential liars. It goes back on my shoulders just like that. The weight of that man and the BS, I will never get up from under it. And that's the worst part too. Like there's literally people out here who have been victimized, and you got people out here who will sit and be like, oh, I would just want to make something up because I want money or clout or whatever the case is. And I hate those people. Like, I cannot stand the fact that there's people out here who literally manipulate and lie just because they want a moment. Whereas there are real victims out here who have been dealing with being assaulted or abused and are afraid to come forward because of people in powerful positions or whatever the case is. But um hopefully the girl's not lying. But if Aubrey was assaulted because she said she didn't drink. But that don't mean that he didn't put something in your drink. He probably put something in your water, or maybe you were eating something. He drugged you. There's always ways that you can go around about drugging somebody. I mean, if the details are the details, the girl I guess has to have better details. Like where were they? Where were you at the time? Where did she witness this, or whatever the case was? But it's like, yeah, now I can't take this girl down because yeah, Diddy would use that as an excuse. We know he had no good SOB. He is a low down, dirty dog, but we don't want to give his people any energy or any credence to believe that, okay, you can get away with abusing this person. You're trying to discredit everybody because you already saw based off the clips and everything you might have seen from this docuseries, the type of shady shenanigans Diddy was willing to pull to keep himself out of prison. It didn't work. He tried everything he could, and for the most part, when all of this stuff was coming out about him, I saw it through the BS, and I kept being like, "I see you. I see you through." In the words of Peaches from A Low Down Dirty Shame, I see through all that Maybelline, and so seeing through all of it, we knew it was like, okay, did you try everything you can to just not go to jail, and even when you was in jail, you still trying to pull so many shenanigans to get your release, get an early release. And since you've been getting in so much trouble at the New Jersey prison, they even had to move up your prison release by, I believe, what was it, a month? So, elsewhere in the doc, OJ claims that she was groomed during her time with Danity Kane. She said, Diddy made it clear that I was the looker. I remember that phrase a lot. He was separating me, and there was a different set of expectations from me, and I just naturally float into the grooming. I said that she was kind of like the sex kitten type, and then he tried to shame her at one point for being sexual. But it was like, you were grooming from the beginning. But I already told you, when it comes down to people who are abusers, it starts with the mental abuse before it goes to the physical. So he's gonna gaslight you and say, "Oh yeah, you're the looker, you're the sex kitten, you're the sex pot. You have to be that type of girl." And then when you actually giving what he's subliminally putting down, then he want to gaslight you and be like, "Oh, so but you out here flaunting, or is it you flaunt your tits like you're Sharon Stone or something, and you're no Sharon." I just had to recite a line from Scream, but you know what I'm saying in regards to that. So she also claimed the last night MC, who's 56, sent her explicit photos via email. She said there were emails with pictures of his dingaling. She said the P word, but I'm calling it dingaling. Now, O'Day said before reading one of the alleged emails aloud, "I don't want to just F you. I want to turn you out. I could see you being with some MFer that you tell what to do. I make my women do what I tell her to do, and she loves it." This is what the alleged email read. She said, "I just want and like to do things different. I'm going to finish watching this porn and finish masturbating. I'll think of you, happy face. If you change your mind and get ready to do what I say, hit me, happy face. God bless Diddy. God is the greatest." Oh, he the greatest when you got your dick in your hand and you basically trying to skeet to completion? Like, this is what I can't with some of y'all. Y'all will sit up in here and throw God up in a situation while you got a mouthful of peen or God knows what else you got. So 6 months later, and I guess this is because she didn't comply to his advances, she claimed that she was terminated from the girl group. She said, "I absolutely felt that I was fired for not participating sexually, but I also found out later that fellow Dandy Kane, Dawn Richard, and Puff were recording a different project." That must have been when she was doing Diddy Dirty Money. "I was a star of the show, and Puff needed to move that entire audience over to a new project." Yeah, because remember the story that he was doing making the band, and I think it was a vanity project for him, because originally making the band was O Town. That was Lou Pearlman project. And you know Diddy likes to colonize other people's work and pass it off as his. Why do you think that Motown made so much money off of Bad Boy? He was sampling every bit of their music to bring into his stuff. And then when you have TV, making the band was O Town at first. And then when that whole show kind of went kaput, then he kind of picked that show up and decided, let's do a hip hop version. Let's do an R&B pop version of making the band. And he started developing things that way. And because hip hop was become a much bigger thing than like the boy band era, that was a good transition of that to be going in at the time. So yeah, now he's supposed to be getting out of prison in June of 2028. So yeah, if you have not seen this upcoming, well, if you haven't seen the docuseries, you already know it's on Netflix. Shout out to Aubrey. That's crazy, the hearing the tea about that. And I do believe everything that she said, including like him sending them inappropriate ass emails. And it's funny how these people were doing all kinds of inappropriate stuff and think they won't get caught. But I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story in regards to what Aubrey had to say in the detail that she revealed in that email? And him talking about that he watching adult cinematography and diddling with little Diddy. So let me know what you guys think of this while he's thinking of her, actually. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.